offense to the arc.
Travis Bader is the all-time king in made threes. He hit 10 a week ago on this campus.
Travis Bader is a straight sharpshooter. Recently broke J.J. Redick's record and currently sits at 475. Let's see how many he can get tonight.
Here's the Titans starting lineup. Backcourt of freshmen Matthew Grant and Gerard Williams. Up front, Howard, Evan Brunsman, who can shoot the three, and N.J. Njoku, number 15. For the Grizzlies, Bader and Monty and Felder in the backcourt. It's a good backcourt, by the way. Ralph Hill gets a chance to start tonight. Tommy McCune has been suspended by the head coach Greg Campy due to team violations. And then there's Corey Petros, who's pretty tough in the middle. Greg Campy's the head coach and longtime head coach of Oakland. He says this game is personal. Not business, personal. He wants this one, and he wants this one badly. And a chance for his team to get the sweep. And on the other end, Ray McCallum, not as personal for him. He says, you know, the bigger picture is we want to keep moving up the standings, want to keep playing well. And recently his team has pulled off 2 last-second wins over Valparaiso and Youngstown State. It is great to have you with us tonight on the U. This should be fun.
Well, I know this sweep would mean a lot to Coach Campy in their first year in the Horizon League. And it's a revenge night for Detroit, Jim.
Well, for Oakland winning on the road, it's quite rare. That one road win still looms as very special. Let's see if they can parlay that into a victory tonight. Visiting red uniforms belong to the Titans, and the home white is for Oakland. That's Khalil Felder, the freshman.
Khalil Felder in attack mode right away, straight down the lane to the rim.
First possession for the Titans. 4 of the 5 players get a touch.
Detroit being real patient on this first possession.
Now Detroit late into the shot clock with 7. And Brunsman for 3.
Brunsman's been one of their most consistent players all year long. Off to a great start.
He has bumped his three-point shooting numbers from 25% beyond 30. And you might say that's not a big deal, but late in the season, when those numbers don't move very dramatically one way or the other, it is significant. Grant ahead to Brunsman. Now Matthew Grant on the drive. And Njoku to clean up.
Big fella, right place, right time, and a power finish.
5-2 in favor of the Titans, who come in tonight at 12 and 14, and a chance to go 500 in the league at 6 and 6. From the free throw line extended, and tapped away, and picked up by Brunsman. Njoku inside, 7-2 Detroit. All this without Juwan Howard Jr. taking a shot.
I think Ray McCallum says, hey, we're going inside right away, and it's paid off early.
Well, it started with a three-pointer by Evan Brunsma after the Grizzlies got the first basket of the game.
Brunsma spots up, knocks it down, good footwork, high release, just a pretty stroke.
And 7 straight points for the Titans. Grizzlies come in tonight at 9 and 17, 4 and 7 in the league, and they lost their first 7 to start the year against arguably a very difficult road schedule. Felder to kick off to Duke Mundy. Inside Petros. Drop down inside, basket and one. Well, Ralph Hill, who gets a chance to play after playing only 81 minutes all season long.
Great pass out of the post from Petros to Ralph Hill. Good vision, makes him pay for doubling the post. Nice cut to the basket by Hill.
By the way, his Twitter is Ralph No More than 50.
Ralph Hill gets to start tonight with Tommy McCune being out of the lineup.
Hill's a Dayton transfer, sat out last season. Howard, his first shot of the game is perfect.
Big shot, Howard. Looks like about from the same spot. He knocked down the game winner at Valpo.
Had the game winner at Valparaiso. And in addition to that, Reggie also had the game winner against Youngstown State. Howard in transition. Gets that to go. And the Titans, off to a terrific start, are leading by 8.
Step right into a mid-range pull-up at the elbow. Just a pretty stroke there for the younger Howard. Dad was a member of the Fab Five. He'll have to have a fabulous performance for them to be successful overnight.
Well, they have hit 5 of their first 6. Talked to Juwan Howard, who was solid in the first 3 minutes, but not lately.
He's hard with the steals, pushing the ball on the break. Stop and pop. It's nice basketball.
Titans have scored on all 5 of their possessions so far. And they're shooting 83% of the game. Howard missing badly on the post, and this is Felder. Travis Bader yet to take a shot until then.
There's the sharpshooter, Jim. Adding 1 more to the total. 476 and counting.
What did the Titans say earlier today about finding him in transition?
Ray McCallum said we got to sprint back and close on him quickly. Got to run him off the 3-point line. Transition, Bader spotting up. The closeout is a little late. It was a good hand and a good contest, but it needed to be about a second earlier.
Travis Bader just made his 119th free. And for the free throw line, he has been spectacular this year. 107 makes now in 115 tries. That's over 93%.
Yeah, Bader's shooting 92, Jim, in conference play. I mean, he's cash money from the line. I hope I don't jinx him here.
Titans 12, Grizzlies 9. High-scoring game. Who does that favor?
I think it favors Oakland. Oakland is a really good offensive team. They got 4 guys averaging in double figures, and they're very capable of scoring a lot of numbers, and they can get them quick. The key for Oakland is they got to get some stops. They're giving up 79 points a game, Jim, in conference play. That's a lot of points to spot your opponent.
Grizzlies had a big number against Cleveland State, but lost in that game 92-85 a week ago. Game in which Bader hit 10 threes. This is Travis on the baseline. And a rebound taken down by Patrick Olanu. So Olanu with a rebound, and here come the Titans and Juwan Howard. Kick out 3, Grant. Kept alive by Njoku, out of bounds, and with that, a timeout. This is rivalry week, and what's rivalry week without a little trash talking between the Titans? High-scoring start to our game tonight on rivalry week. Detroit 12, Oakland 9. Juwan Howard Jr. was the hero in not 1, but 2 games last week. We won 1 against Valparaiso here. Off the near steal, he buries the 3 to beat the Crusaders on Friday night on ESPNU, and then he came back a couple days later to knock off Youngstown State with a 2 in a high-scoring game, 83-81. So look at Matthew Grant getting a little work done. And there's a look at Howard Jr. He's got family in attendance tonight. He's always a real spirited guy and fun to talk to prior to game, and he's averaging over 18 points a game, and that's 4th best in this league, Reggie.
Yeah, he's just a terrific all-around scorer. Got a great personality. We went to shoot around today. He comes right up to us and just was really nice. It was nice to meet him, too, today. Nice kid.
As the story goes, he was shooting last night with his team after an Oakland women's game. There were about 300 fans on hand because they wanted to get some permanent residents for tonight's game. And every time Howard made a shot, he friendly taunted the crowd, and after he missed one, the crowd taunted him back.
Well, he's not lacking confidence, which is a good thing.
Personal foul called in half court between 2 of our stars here today, Juwan Howard Jr. and Travis Bader, and that's Bader's first, and you could be the judge at home. What do you think, Reggie? Real or otherwise?
I'm going to vote otherwise.
A little theatrical work there, huh? Either way, it's Bader's first personal foul, and we play on. Seven points in the game for Juwan Howard. And Detroit leads 14-9.
That just was a terrific step back going left. He's in rhythm. And that shot is just, he makes that shot look easy.
And remember, he didn't start the game scoring as Njoku had 4 of the first 7 points, and Bruinsma had the other 3.
Here comes Howard, dribbling left, create space, step back, great balance. That's a big-time shot.
In the Horizon League, if you can finish in the 4, 5, or 6 spots at the end of the regular season, you get at least a home game in the conference tournament. If you finish 3rd, you get a bye to the 2nd round. If you finish 1st or 2nd, you get a double bye to the semifinals. Monday looking for Petros and stolen away by Lippert. Jermaine Lippert, number 21, now in the game for Detroit. Howard off the bounce. The left boundary, just a freshman at the point, and he draws contact.
That's a great push by Felder. Just put immediate pressure on the transition defense. He's in attack mode. He's going to the rim. And you look for him to get one to Bader very shortly as he sucks that defense in and finds Bader spotting up.
Our two coaches who, over the years, supposedly have had a conversation about renewing a rivalry between each other, but it never happened. Talk of a 4-year deal, talk of a 2-year deal. Nothing was coming by the wayside, and so now they're in the league, and they have to play each other.
Well, I think it'll be a great rivalry. It fits our rivalry week to a T.
By the way, speaking of Khalil Felder, again, just a freshman, he averages almost 6 assists a game, and his turnover to assist margin is fabulous. That's a 3 on the way by Anton Wilson.
That's what Wilson does. When he comes in the game, he's looking to make shots. I love his length and his ability to shoot over smaller defenders, too.
They need him to be a 3rd scorer on this team.
Absolutely. After Howard and Bruinsma, they need him to be that 3rd guy. He's capable, too.
Good ball movement to Bader. Doesn't take the first shot. Hits the more difficult second.
Bader sells the shot fake, steps into the 3, and that was heavily contested. That's a big shot.
Titans 17-14 on the back cut. Ball swiped away. 7 minutes into the game, and the home white uniforms belong to the Grizzlies. Bader on the runner. College basketball lives on to you. Saturday 1, Big Ten collides. Iowa headed to the NCAA tournament, faces Penn State in the Saturday showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy. Then at 3, it's American Conference action. Houston against Sean Kilpatrick and the red-hot Cincinnati Bearcats. College basketball part of Rivalry Week presented by Wendy's on ESPNU. Both games also live on Watch ESPN.
I love the job Fran McCaffrey's doing at Iowa. Creating depth. He's upgraded the talent. They are a contender in the Big Ten.
And he's a fiery dude on the sidelines, isn't he now?
He is, and I love it.
Howard trying to get around on the baseline's in trouble. Who's going to get the loose ball? On the break, it's Oakland. Dante Williams narrows the lead to 1.
Nice finish with the left hand there for Williams.
This is Carlton Brundage now in the game for Detroit. Good attacker. And Lippert winds up and scores a basket from the baseline. So the subs are making their presence known a little early.
Well, I think that's what they have to do. If they're still looking for, like you say, Jim, looking for that 3rd score. So they're either going to have to do it by committee or somebody's got to get hot off the bench.
Felder guarded and swiped away by Brundage. Orlando trying to get in transition. And a difficult spot is called for Traveler. When we come back, we'll talk Travis Bader and show you how he does it. And for Bader, he making the all-time three-point maker earlier tonight. Had a chance to catch up with him here at the O Arena. What makes you a great three-point shooter?
You know, I think my work ethic kind of stands me out from other players. And, you know, this was my only Division I scholarship offer, Oakland University. And I really just made the most of it, and I worked hard, and no one expected me to be where I am today. I didn't expect to be where I am today, honestly, you know, being mentioned in the same category as J.J. Redick. So, you know, I just worked hard, and when I first got here, I pushed my limits, and I saw the players before me and what they brought to Oakland University, and I just told myself if I wasn't going to make it, it's not going to be because I don't work hard enough. So, hard work.
If you don't mind, let's see what you got.
All right.
Reggie, that was easy. And now has 477 all-time made threes. First ever, J.J. Redick now in second place, a distant second. J.J. Redick talked on Clippers.com recently about the pressure of setting the record. When he did it, now Redick has his record broken by Bader. And I think Bader seems to be playing more relaxed and has that monkey off his shoulder, for lack of a better way to put it, in order to concentrate on the rest of the season.
Yeah, Jim, that's exactly right. I talked to Travis Bader about just that, and he said as he got closer, it weighed on his mind, but he's so much more relaxed now that the record's behind him. And he's just going to build upon it now.
1960 in this Horizon League game. Dante Williams draws contact from Njoku.
What Corey Petros has made some great passes.
Typically with Petros, they will double him, but when he gets single coverage, as he did there, he's able to find an open shooter in Dante Williams.
Well, he's had a couple impressive looks. The one from the low post to Ralph Hill, and then this pass here was just terrific.
Petros on a deep catch, able to lay it in, and it's back to a one-point lead for the Titans.
Petros' first basket, and he was a huge factor in game one, where he scored 23 points, 13 rebounds, played all 40 minutes. So they'll look to get him some more touches eventually.
And they don't want any deep catches tonight, that's for sure.
Not much you can do when he gets that deep to the rim.
No, sir. Petros trying to lay it in with the right hand, missed it. And saved by Gerard Williams. Freshman backcourt for Ray McCallum this year. Ball was tipped, so no carrying on the play. Now goes through everybody's legs, and it will stay in the hands of the Titans. There's the sixth-year coach of Detroit. Greg Campy enters his 30th season.
Really enjoyed visiting with Coach Campy today. He coached one of my former bosses, Brian Gregory, who's the head coach of Georgia Tech. Brian Gregory played here at Oakland for Coach Campy. Was a terrific point guard.
When this team, Oakland, was in the Summer League, Reggie, and won the title 6 times. Out to Howard for the kick out, and 3 on the way. And Juwan Howard is into double figures for the Titans.
Howard just takes his time, lines it up, knocks it down. He's got that old man's game. He just gets it done. He's like a guy playing with his tennis shoes on and his dress socks. He just shows up and drags those young guys around, Jim.
You know, with Howard and Bader, this could be a game of horse tonight, which would be a lot of fun.
No doubt about it.
Our 2 stars tonight, a one-on-one, are already into double digits. 10 for Howard and 11 for Travis Bader. Dropped on Njoku, and it's blocked. Duke Monday with a block. It's a 5 against 4. Let's see if Oakland recognizes it. Instead, throws it away. Picked up by Gerard Williams. Hands it off Njoku, who lost the ball. Who's it going to belong to? Titans say they got it, and they restore possession. Anton Williams, an open look. Things starting to heat up a bit here. In transition Monday, open shooter Dante Williams.
Coach McCollum talked about it today at shoot-around. You got to get back in transition. Felder puts so much pressure on the defense, and he can find people spotting up. That's just a great look on the break.
And Joku is going to have some medical attention being applied right now. Let's take a look at Oakland. Maybe they're determining exactly where the ball is going to be put in place. Either way, explanation given to both coaches. And when play does resume, it's on the Detroit side, in which the ball will be thrown in bounds. Hot shooting on both sides. 57% for Oakland, 56% for the Titans. Both teams have knocked out 4 threes. Olanu raising and scoring.
Olanu just a rhythm dribble, no pressure, mid-range pull-up. Looked like he was in shooting drills.
Patrick is 6'8", 210 out of Southfield, Michigan, and part of Ray McCallum's rebuilding after he lost key players from last year was to get the kids that are close to home. Petros at inside position, and Glenn Bayborg, the outside official, spots a foul on the Titans. Olanu picks up the personal.
Olanu's one of their more versatile players, Jim. Been a little inconsistent, but he's the second leading shot blocker, and he can defend multiple positions as well.
So many accolades about senior guard Travis Bader of Oakland, and one of them is his amazingly quick release.
Well, I think one of the things that makes his release so quick, he's ready on the catch. He's got great shot preparation. On out there on the catch, it's up and out there, Jim.
Yep. Oakland a 3-point lead and the ball again. Khalil Felder matched up against freshman Matthew Grant. Petros kept it alive.
Oakland's got the lead in the ball. They got to run good offense here. Get into one of their set plays, try to get it to Petros, or get Bader coming off the screen. Another great pass by Petros.
Williams missed it, fails to tip it in. Petros going to give him a third try. Williams wide open inside, missed it. Another opportunity blocked. Who's going to come up with a fight in the Titans? Ooh, Grizzlies had a lot of chances there, Reggie. Back to Howard, firing on the bounce. Not a good shot.
Yeah, Williams just got to attack the basket there. You got to come out of there with a basket. You can't come out of there empty with 2 chip shots like that.
Rapidly approaching the 7-minute mark for the first half. Bader open 3. Not this time. Gerard Williams right past Bader and a 3 against 1. Second opportunity missed again. Both teams have had great opportunities, but lately there's been a seal on the hoop. A step aside for the score 27-24.
Sunday on ESPNU.
Oakland 27, Detroit 24 in a highly entertaining game so far tonight as part of rivalry week. And our one-on-one stars tonight have not disappointed. Juwan Howard has 10, including 4 of 7 from the floor, and he got those 10 in a rush. And on the other end, Travis Bader has 4 threes in 5 attempts. He has scored 14, and he's done it in very electric fashion, as you might imagine, here in this game. So let's update our one-on-one numbers, and in addition to the points, both of these guys have done it very efficiently with a number of shots attempted and mostly 3-point shots made. Now, Travis Bader, as you know, practices threes, Reggie. That's what he does a lot in practice. But Khalid Washington, who's 5 years old, he is the son of assistant coach Sadi Washington. Well, he came up to Greg Campy at practice today. He said, Coach, can we have Travis practice layups? I think he's shooting too many threes.
Well, I just think that's a great scouting report. He knows people are going to try to make Bader put it on the ground now, put it on the floor and make plays off the dribble. He's trying to get him ready for some finishes inside.
And you know what? Campy listened to him. I don't know if he took his direction, but he allowed him to speak his mind.
Well, I don't think Coach Campy is going to ask Bader to come away from that three-point line.
No, sir. Particularly the way he's stroking it tonight.
Yeah, they're shooting great percentages. That line for Bader is a home away from home.
Great three-point shooting on both ends. And rebounding as a slight edge to Oakland. On the catch for the inbounds, Matthew Grant. And Howard, not blocked out, scores. Juwan Howard now with 12 points, and his first rebound of the game is an effective one.
It's a big one. Big putback, out of bounds under. They execute their offense. Got a great open look. Right place, right time for Howard for the putback. He's playing terrific.
Juwan Howard Jr., the son of Juwan Howard Sr., as you mentioned, played with the Fab Five, number of years in the NBA, now associated with the Miami Heat. Mom Marquita is in attendance tonight, right behind the Titans bench. Monty the kick out for three. Ralph Hill gets a starting spot tonight in place of the suspended Tommy McCune missing, and it's out of bounds to the Titans.
We got a tied game here to see Detroit executes their offense. Look for Bruinsma or Howard Jr. to get another look here.
Oh, very quiet tonight for Bruinsma, who has scored.
He must have heard
points and made three. And Njoku tries to save, and actually it's off of the Grizzlies, although Greg Campy, the head coach of Oakland, is going to plead this one and see if he can get a reversal. Grant to Howard, catch and shoot three, a little strong.
They rushed that one a little bit. That's the first shot he's rushed.
Rich Benziger is in the game. He's number 13 for Oakland.
Benziger, hard-working walk-on. He's a better shooter than his percentages indicate, according to the coaches.
And this guy, 15, Joey Asbury, who lays it in. He's a senior from Warren, Michigan, getting some valuable playing time tonight as his team regains the lead. Ball loose on the floor, and it's going to be a tie-up. It's going to stay on this end, but the possession arrow now flips to the other side. Pretty good breakdown right there by Duke Monday, and as he's able to do it, he finds Joey Asbury, who gets his name in the box score.
Yeah, that's a terrific draw and drop.
Well, with the fact that McCune has been suspended, Reggie, and Hill's got to see a lot more playing time. He's a starter tonight. That means that the bench, which is relatively slim to begin with, is going to have to call upon people that typically for Oakland don't play a whole lot.
Yeah, Ralph Hill's going to have to contribute and try to help him on the glass. He's a pretty good shooter, gives him good size. Like you said, he's a transfer from Dayton, so he's got some experience. The depth is a huge issue for him.
Titans have won 2 in a row, and in this game they have 7 assists and their 11 made baskets. Bruinsma, a wide open three. Oakland Grizzlies going for the sweep. On the drive, intended for Asbury. It's a difficult pass. And off of his hands, off the throw from Mundy.
I like to see when Mundy attacks the rim, he's in the air, he's right in front of the rim. I think you got to look at laying that in. Just finish it yourself.
Good idea. Bruinsma trying to take his man off the bounce, and he got hit in the face. ESPNU brings you a doubleheader college hoops Sunday. Starting at 6, Fighting Irish battle the Eagles in ACC Sunday night basketball. Then at 8 to the west, a Pac-12 matchup between the Buffaloes and Trojans. College basketball is part of Rivalry Week. It's presented by Wendy's on ESPNU, and both games also live on Watch ESPN. And a tough season for Notre Dame. Despite a win over the Duke Blue Devils, they've lost a couple of key players like Jaron Grant at the guard position, and they must play on in a very difficult conference.
Yeah, that's a tough loss, using Grant. He's so versatile, does so much for him. And when you got a guy that can do so many things to help your team, and he's not there, it's hard to compensate.
Howard buries it. He has been death tonight with that jump shot. 15 points for
he's just a big-time player.
Juwan Howard.
Already got me a comparison. He's the Paul Pierce of the Horizon League.
That's a pretty heady comparison. So what does he look like, Paul Pierce, to you?
Gets him on his back, faces him up, sizes him up, and knocks it down.
At this point, I'm not sure there are better players in the league, at least at the way they are controlling things with their outside scoring than Juwan Howard. He is putting on a great stretch run.
When he's been hot, he's up to 19 a game in league. He hadn't looked back. His confidence is so high. Win 2 games, game winners back-to-back. This has got to be great things for your confidence.
.345 remaining in the first half, and we're late into the shot clock. Down to 5. Who's going to shoot it for the Titans? Carlton Brundage knocks down a 3.
Big-time 3 there by Brundage, who's mostly known for attacking the rim.
Just a 28% triple shooter. Contact outside, foul called. Good-looking rivalry that has its rematch tonight between Detroit and Oakland. The first matchup won by the Grizzlies at Callahan Hall.
You got a baseline drive here, and now you got Juwan Howard, who's spotting up over on the weak side. As the penetration occurs, Howard spaces to the three-point line, wide open, the closeout's late, another knockdown.
Howard averages 18 points a game, and guess what? He's almost at his average already. He has hit 15 on 6 of 10 from the floor, and that includes a couple of made threes. So the man who loves the spotlight tonight is reveling in it.
Tell you what, he's delivered this first half, that's for sure.
As play resumes, Khalil Felder, outstanding freshman from Detroit, knocks down the first free throw, as the Grizzlies are now in the bonus.
Coach Camp is very high on Felder with his speed, quickness, toughness. He's going to be a 4-year starter here for sure.
And he wasn't supposed to be the starter this year, as they lost a point guard due to injury.
Well, he leads them in assists, and he can make plays, and he puts immediate pressure on the transition defense.
Well, look at this.
There he is attacking the ball there.
Really forces a turnover. We'll have to get back on defense. Open look for Anton Wilson is way off the mark. Evan Brunsma tries to clean it up and does.
There's Brunsma. He's like a Swiss Army knife. He can do a little bit of everything. Rebound some. He can make threes. He can pass it.
He is the first player besides Juwan Howard Jr. to score more than 4 points. Corey Petros does such a wonderful job of being able to set a screen and then slip behind the defense.
Yeah, Petros is such a big body. Yeah, went back door, dribbled right at him. It's terrific.
Another look at the back cut by Petros, and Evan Brunsma didn't get an opportunity to get over there until Petros had scored it. It is 34-33 Detroit. We still have 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half.
Yeah, Detroit's got the ball in the lead. Run good offense, get a great shot.
From the baseline and a catch and shoot. Shot missed by Wilson. And now an opportunity for Oakland to go ahead.
Good shot for Wilson. But it was open. Nice look, just didn't go.
Reggie, in the game I saw last week, we broadcast on to you, Detroit beat Valpo by 2, 59-57, and incredibly, there were 27 lead changes in the game. It's been a very competitive Horizon League race this year, and most of the games have come down to 2 possessions or less.
Yeah, the league is so balanced. And these teams are trying to build momentum as they get closer to conference tournament play. If you can build some momentum, put together 2 or 3 wins, you can go from 8th place to 4th place.
Yes, get yourself a home game to start the tournament.
And that sure makes life easier when you get to play on your home floor.
Felder kick out into corner Hill.
Nice driving kick by Felder. Ralph Hill was practicing those spot-up threes today in practice.
He started for the suspended Tommy McCune, and he has 5 in the game. And now Evan Brunsma scores his 7th point, and we're tied again at 36.
Well, Tommy McCune was averaging 5 in conference. Ralph Hill's already got 5. So they're ahead of schedule.
Yeah, making a statement for a little more time. Under a minute left in the first half. Petros back toward Hill.
That's the second back door. Another great pass by Petros. Petros is a point center tonight.
Good point. Detroit with a use it or lose it timeout takes a 30-second timeout. ESPN team. So look at Lloyd Neely the second getting some playing time, and Oakland using a lot of people from their bench tonight. You said this place reminds you a little bit of Cameron Indoor Stadium. Why is that?
Well, I think it has that Duke feel, the way the baskets are constructed. And then also, Jim, the crowd is right on the floor.
Grizzlies will get another possession, barring a steal or offensive rebound for Detroit off a miss. Under 10 on the shot clock.
Oakland turns up the pressure here on the ball defensively.
And now 5 to shoot it. Brundage is going to have to hurry. Down to 2. He fires. Hit the rim. Rebound in Njoku. Grizzlies get it with just seconds to go. And Greg Campy gets a timeout before Oakland attempts a desperation shot. Campy right now barking at official Glenn Mayborg, but he will get the timeout, and we'll see exactly how much time remains for Oakland's final possession.
In first or second for regular season, you only got to win 2 games to be a champion, and that is huge.
Ray McCallum Jr. knows it's all about being a champion. The Sacramento King on NBA All-Star Weekend. Back to watch his dad coach the Titans against the Grizzlies. Was 2 seconds to go, first half. Knocked out of bounds at half court, and that's the end of the first half, unless time is put back on the clock. And if time is, what kind of play can you draw up from 45 feet away?
I haven't seen that one yet, Jim. That's a tough one. They got no time on the clock. What is he? See what we get to work with here.
Yeah, there'll be an official review and likely an opportunity to put more time back, as now Oakland will use this break to put together a pseudo timeout and draw up a play.
They came out of the last timeout with 2 seconds. They had 2 seconds. I mean, you got to throw something deep toward the basket, down the floor, try to get a. You know, you got time for one dribble on a shot, probably. You get it to the right spot.
2 seconds when that play began. Olanu knocked it out of bounds, and obviously 2 seconds didn't go by. So we'll try to determine how much time is remaining. Clock should have started right there.
As soon as he touched the ball, the clock should have started.
And it looks like it hits at 1.6. Well, what do they say in basketball? That's an eternity, right?
Absolutely. It's definitely enough time to get a shot off. I mean, you can get a 3, you can run some. Looks like they're setting up to run some kind of screening action.
You know, Reggie, only in basketball is 1.6 a long period of time.
Doesn't take long to squeeze off a jumper, Jim. Sitting right. We got, looks like they got Bader down low, 2 screeners up high. I gotta think they're going to screen down and try to bring Bader to the ball and get him an open look. Or a slip to the basket for Petros. 1.6, you got to make it happen quick. If that's what they determine. 1.5.
And that was Jeff Spadowski and Glenn Mayborg meeting at center court. Lamont Simpson, right there in your picture, is the third official, as hired by the Horizon League. We'll settle at 1.5 seconds, and Mundy will throw it in from half court.
Watch Bader coming off here for a deep three.
You got to give him 3 feet. You got to give him a couple feet.
And he's got time for at least one dribble.
Titans will send their biggest player in 6'11" Solanke to try to disrupt Mundy's pass.
And that's a great move by Coach McCallum. Try to block his vision.
They're looking for Bader instead to Williams. And this half is...
Nobody touched the ball.
Yeah.
So
over. At least we think it is.
Well,
you know, it's interesting. The clock has not moved.
the clock did not move.
But the teams are away, and we'll go to break with a score 38-36 Oakland at halftime.
Teams are shooting pretty well, especially the stars. Which star will get stopped the most, and we'll see how it goes.
And we're ready to play. Public address announcer has reminded the fans about sportsmanship tonight as this game may continue to heat up. That's a good idea. Ray McCallum, the coach, spoke to his team about the Marcus Smart Oklahoma State situation, reminding his guys, no matter what the fans say tonight, keep your cool and play on.
Great advice by Coach McCallum.
Play begins second half. Home team has the basketball first. That's the Grizzlies of Oakland. That's the freshman point guard, Khalil Felder. Felder in the first half.
Great split in the double team on the ball screen. Petro's hard roll to the rim creates a little avenue, and Felder finishes with the floater. That's a nice play.
Felder in the first half had 6 points, 6 assists, but also 5 turnovers. Detroit works inside out and back to the inside. And Joku gets a little flat roll and scores it for Detroit.
Jim, you talk about Felder's turnovers. At times he gets sped up. He's got to slow down sometime and look things over and change speed. Sometimes he goes 100 a little bit too long. He's got to learn to back it down to 70 sometimes.
Well, how long does that take to learn?
Well, I think with experience. And if he keeps turning it over, Coach Campy's going to let him know about it.
Travis Bader finished his college degree in 3 years. He's already working on his master's, and he's certainly been a master at shooting the 3-ball in his outstanding career with the Grizzlies.
Yeah, Bader does a great job setting himself up before he comes off the screen. He's got as good a shot prep as anybody in the country.
Bader now has 17 points for the game. Howard trying to take Hill off the bounce.
Tell you what, he is impressive. He's got step backs going both right and left. And that's a lot more difficult than it looks.
How much does he remind you of his dad?
I think he's a smaller version. You know, his dad was 6'9". And, you know, his dad was kind of more of a post player. But they're very similar in their body types and they're confident. Juwan Howard Sr. was very confident and a terrific player in Michigan.
Both teams right now feeding the post, and Oakland's lead on Petros' basket is back to 5 at 45-40. Ralph Hill at 6'6", the junior from Westerville, Ohio, gets the rebound for the Grizzlies, who can expand their lead to 7. Bader, good shot fake, drop downhill.
Terrific play. Bader comes off the screen, gets penetration, draws the defense, drops to Ralph Hill. Ralph Hill's doing a great job.
47-40. Reggie Rankin and Jim Barber, and Travis Bader has been working hard with the ball and without it.
Well, coming off the screen right here with great preparation, Juwan Howard created space, which he should never do against Travis Bader. Then he goes inside the screen. You got to trail Bader off screen. Then he shot fakes, gets into the lane, drops off, and he sets it up after he comes off a double screen, lifts the defense. I mean, this kid, he just knows how to play.
And he is now 23 better than the all-time mark set by J.J. Redick of Duke. In the first meeting with Detroit, he had 14 and just 4 of 12 shooting. He's been more efficient with less field goal attempts tonight, Reggie.
Well, I think a lot of it is he's more relaxed, he's more patient, the record's behind him, and he's just kind of getting into his groove, getting into his flow.
He was in a groove last week in a loss to Cleveland State. I had a chance to witness in person, in which he hit 10 of 13 threes and had 35 for the game. Juwan Howard, guarded by Duke Bundy, has to give it up. And a foul call outside. Khalil Felder a little too close to Carlton Brundage.
Yeah, you got to know when you're guarding Carlton Brundage, you got to think drive first. Because he's like a locomotive. He's going to the rim, and he can finish through contact and draw fouls. Drive first, jumper second when you're defending Carlton Brundage.
Good idea.
There he goes.
Brundage, good head fake inside and nearly scored the basket. He will step to the free throw line for 2. But he's a real heady player, isn't he?
Yeah, he just knows his strengths, and he plays to them. Attacking the basket, shot fakes, gets everybody in the air, almost gets an and one. And he probably could have, Jim, just finished on the same side of the basket he was on. He made that shot more difficult than he had to.
Last Friday night, he banged into Big Alec Peters of Valparaiso, and just a play or two later was back in for Ray McCallum's team.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. Saw him play quite a bit in high school.
Titans are a good free throw shooting the team. The problem is tonight getting to the free throw line. Just 3 attempts. I think Ralph Hill's making a statement for not only some playing time, maybe coming as a starter for this team.
Well, I think Ralph Hill has really helped his team tonight with his energy and his productivity. And I think he will, pretty safe to say, he'll start the next game.
Grossman picks up the loose change, gets his shot blocked twice. And contact, that's a blocking foul on Juwan Howard Jr. And Howard may have stopped a Grizzlies fast break.
Yeah, they definitely had an advantage up the floor.
Ray McCallum will get rid of the suit as things are starting to get a little warm inside the arena. Certainly a cold night outside where there's a lot of blowing snow before we got started at 7 o'clock Eastern. Chance to take the lead into double digits and more contact inside on the Titans. We have an under 16-minute break with Oakland up by 8. It's halftime lead, and here's Reggie to take us inside the play.
Well, we got Petros setting a pin down screen. Petros sets the pin down screen, catches it inside, draws the second defender right here, which is Brunsma. Brunsma comes over, loses vision, can't recover. Hill with the finish. Just great execution, and another tremendous pass by Petros. I mean, he's really showed a great ability to pass the ball tonight. And he's not just passing, Jim, for open shots. He's passing for baskets. Big difference.
Corey Petros in this game has 3 assists to go with his 6 points. And Oakland has made its last 7 field goal attempts to bump its shooting numbers over 50% in the second half, and the 11-5 edge for the Grizzlies, who are playing for the sweep tonight, Reggie.
Yeah, I know the sweep is something that is really important to Coach Campy if they can pull it off. With them being new to the league, new to the Horizon League, for them to be able to sweep their rivals in their first year in the league, you know, that's something that's a feather you can put in your cap for sure. It's something to build upon.
Sure, and their only road victory this year has been against Detroit.
Yeah, Oakland has really struggled on the road. I talked to Coach Campy about that too, Jim, and he said a lot of it had to do, you know, with their depth, you know, running out of gas late in games, and I totally get that.
Off the timeout, Anton Wilson knocks down his second three, and well, a lot of time to be played. That's an important basket for Detroit, trying to quell this run for Oakland as the lead is down to 5.
They need Anton Wilson to continue to be aggressive on the offensive end.
Petros trying to get Njoku in. Can't do it, and off the foul, rebound Titans. NJ, as they refer to it, will kick it back out to Brundage. Now Bruinsma with the right hand will lift it short.
Tough shot, off balance.
Monday in transition, missed it. Duke Monday in this game for Oakland has failed to score. He does have 3 assists, a block, and a steal. Here's Greg Campy, who has over 500 career wins. And he said, you know, Detroit and Oakland would have gotten together sooner outside the Horizon League, except for my big mouth. He said I was pretty vocal about the fact that he felt the Titans refused to play him, and he couldn't figure out why. And so he kept bringing it up every occasion he did, and it probably didn't sit well with the opponent.
Yeah, those things can kind of delay things, if you will. But I love Coach Campbell. His energy, and he's such a presence. Been here 30 years. You know, that just doesn't happen in coaching nowadays, a coach being in one place that long.
He will certainly bring a lot of passion and intensity to this league.
And I love that about him. I mean, I would have loved to play for a coach like Coach Campbell.
Here's Bader.
He knows where he's coming from. Baylor, oh, boy.
That's a 3 and 1.
Bader coming off staggered screen, make it a triple. Gets separation from the defender and knocks it down, and the foul. I tell you what, he comes off those screens tight, low, ready. His hands are ready. His feet are set. He's square. Just a big-time shooter. I came in the gym this morning at 10 o'clock. He was already in here shooting, Jim. I watched about 2 jumpers. That's all I needed to figure out he was legit.
And when he practiced for our cameras, Reggie, he knocked many of them down without a miss and seemed pretty composed about doing it. No
question about it. He's a confident shooter just because he puts the time in and he works on it. You know, I told him today, I said, you know, Travis, you got 475 threes before the game. I said, it probably took you 4 million shots, including practice, to get him. And he just laughed. He said, at least that many.
Well, you're pretty good about evaluating talent as he spins to Petros and the ball is lost. In the case of Bader, how would you surmise his talent for the NBA?
Well, I think he's a specialist. And there's always room for a shooter, Jim. You know, the way the NBA plays now, you know, there's space. Spacing is key. His man has to stay with him.
In the meantime, Titans with back-to-back baskets, now pull within 5. And let's see if the Grizzlies can find Bader, who is right now extended at the top of the key against Juwan Howard.
Oakland switched that screen.
Dante Williams draws a blocking foul. It's on Jermaine Lippert, number 21. Well, the block charge is considered to be the most difficult call in college basketball. Do you think his feet might have been set?
No, I think he was a little late. I just think now with the way the rules set up, once the offense is already in flight, if he's not there already, Jim, they're not going to give you a charge. And charges are hard to come by this year.
Patrick Wanu is now in the game. Lippert comes out. Oakland with a 7-point lead at 55-48 as part of rivalry week tonight from Rochester, Michigan. Oano on the drive and a blocking foul called now on the Oakland Grizzlies. That'll be on Dante Williams, number 2.
Oano attacking the basket. Big, strong wing player.
Even though Oakland doesn't have a rim protector and has very few blocks for the season, this is just the 4th Detroit free throw attempt tonight.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with how high percentage Juwan Howard shot the first half. I mean, he's making shots. There's not a lot of rebounds. And when you make them take the ball out as much as they were having to the first half, you're not going to get as many fouls.
First year of the conference for the Oakland Grizzlies, who start tonight in a tie for 7th. Juwan Howard Jr. drawing Duke Bundy.
Duke Bundy's their best defender.
Oano, bounce pass, Brunswick cutting inside. Foul called on Dante Williams. ESPNU brings a doubleheader of college hoops your way Sunday night, starting at 6. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame against the Eagles of Boston College in the ACC Sunday Night Basketball Showdown. At 8, it's Pac-12. The Buffaloes of Colorado, the Trojans of USC. College basketball, part of a rivalry week, presented by Wendy's on ESPNU. Both games also live on Watch ESPN. Our usual Friday night colleague, Malcolm Huckabee, who's in studio this weekend, played for Boston College, led them to the Elite 8.
Malcolm Huckabee was a tremendous player at Boston College. Played for my close friend and colleague, Paul Boone Carter, our National Director of Recruiting, who I've known for 20-plus years. And great coach, better friend.
Jim O'Brien, the head coach there, eventually on to Ohio State. Now coaching Division III in the Boston area. Bader a long 3, and he's fouled again beyond the arc. Juwan Howard Jr. got him.
You know, you got to close out on Bader under control. You know you want him to put it on the floor, but you have to be under control, high hand contest, out of control closeouts, and that's the cardinal sin in basketball, fouling the jump shooter. Especially a guy 92% in conference play.
He's already made a 4-point play, and now he's got a chance to convert 3 here. On the season, his numbers are white hot. 110 makes, 118 attempts from the line. We always talk about how great a 3-point shooter he is, but his free throw shooting would rival anybody.
Yeah, no question. And you know, the thing is, too, they got to be able to you got to corral him a little bit, and you got to make him put it on the floor. You got to run him off the 3-point line and make him put the ball on the floor, preferably with his weak hand. And you got to get him out of his comfort zone. I mean, if he comes off screens clean, you're in big trouble.
Just 2 bettors you saw by the graphic starting tonight in free throw conversion percentages across the country. Brenton Williams of South Carolina at the top of that mark at over 96%. We near the 12-minute mark of our game, and Oakland up by 8. Brundage splitting the defense, and Khalil Felder may have got a hold of him. And with that, we step aside for an under 12 media timeout. Rivals, well, are you tired of seeing Travis Bader highlights? If you're an Oakland fan, of course you're not.
Absolutely. I can watch that kid shoot the ball all day long. He's just pure with his stroke and his confidence. And my rival at Ohio was Miami of Ohio. That was our rival. And we had many, many battles. Actually, my freshman year was during the Ron Harper days.
I remember him. He was good.
He was real good. He used to tear us up. But we had Snoopy Graham and Dave Jamerson, who were terrific NBA players that we got our share too.
Travis Bader has had more than his share tonight, 24 points. Fourth best in shooting the three in the horizon. Just in case you've been out of the country for the last couple of weeks, he's now the all-time three-point leader. Field goals made, surpassing Duke's J.J. Redick.
Not bad for a guy with one scholarship offer.
And that might have been the reason after he finished his degree in 3 years that he didn't go, as they say, free agent, where you can choose another college if you've graduated in 3 years and finish up your eligibility. Certainly felt he owed it to Oakland because Oakland was the only one, as you mentioned, to extend an offer to him, and he'll finish his career here with a number of Grizzly marks, not the least of which, of course, is the one that people are seeing nationally talking about. The number of three-pointers made.
Yeah, I know his commitment, his loyalty to Oakland is really something special, and I know the fans here and Coach Canopy really appreciate that.
That's 21 points now for Juwan Howard Jr. 58 for Oakland and 52 for Detroit. No room for Bader on that catch as Howard was all over him. To the left they swing it, and the miss by Hill.
Well, Howard guarded him the right way that time, Jim. He trailed him off the screen. He didn't try to go up the middle and get pinned in. That's how you got to guard Travis Bader. No separation. You got to be right. Got to be right on him.
Juwan Howard in this game has scored 21 points. He's done it on 9 made field goals.
Hey, he is terrific with those step back jumpers, and he can do them going either right or left. Look at the separation. Tell you what, you better have a sense of urgency when you're closing and contesting his shot, because if he's got the rim in vision, he's going to knock it down. He's too confident.
In our one-on-one update, it's almost a draw. Bader leads by 3, 24-21. But Howard will step to the free throw line for 2. And more importantly, here's a chance for Detroit to close even closer as we take a look at
Howard here on the inbound. Throws it off. Now he goes into Paul Pierce mode. Draws the foul.
It's a good free throw shooter. At 82%. He has logged over 900 minutes this year for the Titans and averages well over 34 minutes per game.
Yeah, he does a great job of just being able to play a lot of minutes and be productive. He's also their top assist guy in conference play.
Tells you a lot about him. His team
is too.
Once down by 9, now closes within 4. Dangerous pass by Felder.
No question. Across the middle of the floor. As a coach, that makes you hold your breath. You lose 2 more strands of hair.
And now in the overplay, Titans get a steal. A basket here cuts it to 2. Howard for 3. And the lead is down to 1 at 58-57.
Back in that groove again.
Juwan Howard now at 26.
I'll tell you what, Jim, he shoots the ball easy. It's just smooth, effortless.
Monday looking to shoot it, but instead passed to the Petros. He wasn't ready. Titans can take the lead with a basket. Howard on a drive to the goal, drops it inside. Good for Onano.
We're just talking about he's their leader in assists as well. Dance with it.
This is the first Titans lead since the 2:46 mark of the first half.
Great to see that family support for Juwan Howard Jr.
And Howard has had a second half rivaling the first, much like Travis Bader has. So as you mentioned more than once, the Stars have really emerged in this game and likely are going to be significant down the stretch as Detroit has scored the last 9 points.
Yeah, Bader and Howard Jr. have not disappointed. Nice drop off for the dunk for Petros. And you know what's impressive? They forced Khalil Felder right that time. And he still was able to get where he needed to get to.
Back on the other end, number 5, Matthew Grant. This is his first season of college basketball. The freshman from L.A. puts them ahead. Until Bader answers.
Just a sweet stroke. He's ready on the catch every time.
It's great to be here tonight. Howard got it stripped and a foul on Felder.
Here you go here. Howard loses sight of the ball. Again, Bader creates space. He's late. Take it out.
In 2 home games for Travis Bader against Cleveland State and tonight against Detroit, separated by a little bit more than a week. Bader is 17 for 21 from the arc. That's 3-point shooting.
Wow.
Free throw good for Juwan Howard. It's been a show right now between our 2 stars. Howard Jr. with 27 and Bader with 27.
I tell you, when you're chasing Bader off these screens, you better be connected to him and in a stance. If you're straight-legged, when he takes off a screen, you got to bend down to run with him. By that time, he's got separation. And it's just too late when he catches the ball. He's just too good.
63 tie. Intended for Petros, picked up by Jerron Williams. DeBrusco lost the ball out of bounds, Oakland.
Great job there by Oakland, getting back to the paint, protecting the rim. Kind of put a shell around the lane and rewards him with a stop.
Reggie, if Detroit wins tonight, it moves into a tie with Wright State for the 5th position. If Oakland wins, it moves ahead of Youngstown State and pulls even with Detroit. On the drive off balance, offensive foul on Howard. Lamont Simpson with a call.
You know, he attacks the rim. Felder's there. He's there. He's set. Juwan Howard a little out of control as he kind of sidestepped the contact. Nice play by Felder, who again is Oakland's their best defender. Him and Felder, Duke Mundy, both do a great job defending for him.
Brooksman the other way, missed it, but the follow is good. Matthew Grant able to clean up the backboard, and Detroit has the lead by 2.
Got to get back. Got to get back in transition. This is one of the things that Coach Campy was talking about, Jim. Late in the game, you got to have your transition defense intact. You got to protect the rim, and you got to make sure you're running guys off the 3-point line.
They're taking Juwan Howard Jr. off of Bader because of his 3 personal fouls. They're going to keep him in the game and want to keep him from getting his 4th. Felder, Petros, blocked by Njoku. Matthew Grant to lead the break. Strong to the basket, scores! And a foul on Travis Bader.
Look at the play. Got to credit Njoku on that. Does his job. He's their shot block leader.
Oakland University with 7:18 to go. That's Juwan Howard Jr. Detroit hoping for some big moments in the tournament, like maybe a couple of years ago when Valparaiso, the favorite, took on the Titans in the championship game of the Arc. And Ray McCallum Jr. was special. In the second half, the Titans outscored the Crusaders by 22, led by McCallum, and they ran away and hit on the coach's birthday. 70-50, allowing the Titans to make the NCAA tournament.
Ray McCallum Jr., an ESPN 100 performer, number 17 in the class of 2010, McDonald's All-American, a terrific kid, second-round draft pick of the Sacramento Kings, 36 overall. I watched Ray grow up. When I was an assistant at Bowling Green, his dad was the head coach at Ball State. We play him. This little kid comes in the gym, and he's dribbling the ball. It's little Ray out there working on his game at like 5 years old.
That's where it starts, right?
That's exactly where it starts. That's why he's getting them big checks now.
Has a 3-year contract with the Kings, and he's seeing some playing time. In fact, recently, Reggie, he matched up with Kyrie Irving of the Cavaliers. His dad was telling us at practice today. Irving looked at him and said, "Hey, I remember you from the days of the McDonald All-American game."
Yeah, he got they played the Cavs earlier in the week, and Little Ray got, I think he got about 5 minutes when I talked to Coach McCallum on the phone on Wednesday. I think he got a little 4 or 5 minutes there toward the end. He's waiting his turn. He's got a great basketball IQ. He can run a team. He can make plays. He's a terrific kid, and he'll be in the NBA a long time.
In the meantime, one of his successors, Matthew Graham, has played well in the second half, particularly in transition. Able to complete the three-point play. And how about this? The Titans have gone, Reggie, from 9 down to 5 up.
Yeah, they got on the roll. Howard Jr. got back going again. And next thing you know, they're right back in the lead.
Let's see if they can get Travis Bader a touch. Instead, Duke Monday will shoot it. Tracked down by Williams. Now Bader with a catch-and-shoot three. Off the mark.
Floated a little bit to his left that time.
Detroit now working well on the break. Gerard leaves it short. Williams is tied up on the ground. And the possession arrow will go to Oakland.
Bader's moving across the line here. Not a great pass. Didn't hit him right in the shooting pocket. Caught him moving to his left a little bit. Knocked it off line. You know, every time he shoots the ball, I think it's going in.
So does he. So you're not alone. 7 of 10 from the arc tonight. 7 of 12 overall. 27 points for Travis Bader. But this team is down by 5.
They got to get some stops here late.
Crowd starting to raise the volume here. Dante Williams to the rescue on the other side as they reverse the ball.
Nice catch and shoot. Got a ball reversal in rhythm.
We're near the 6-minute mark for regulation. This is Howard, who has 28 to lead Detroit. They're late in the shot clock with 5. And the Grizzlies have a chance to tie or go ahead.
This rebound by Petros.
Bader had a notion. This is for the lead. Felder.
Nice catch and shoot. Good unselfish play by Bader. Shot fake. Didn't feel like he was on balance. Reverses it. It's good unselfish play.
Titans are in the double bonus. That means 2 free throws at the behest of any defensive foul. Bonus for Oakland. Inside. Tough shot. Gerard Williams. These freshmen are looking solid tonight for the Titans.
But Brunsma, great setup. Great baseline spin, draw, drop off to a teammate.
Duke Monday with a left-handed drive, and he'll have free throws with 4:49 to go.
Duke Monday attacking the rim, drawing the foul.
Let's go to the other end and show the Titans with the ball movement.
Great ball movement. Brunsma, baseline spin, draws 2, hits the cutter. It's good basketball, good unselfish basketball. I really like Evan Brunsma. Just think he's so versatile. He's smart on and off the court. 3.8 student.
He has had to carry a load this year along with Juwan Howard Jr. with the loss of Ray McCallum, Jason Caliste, Doug Anderson, and Nick Minerath.
You know, Howard Jr. and Brunsma both had to go from kind of role guys to the guys.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that's difficult to do at first.
You got to have a mentality to do that.
Here come the Grizzlies, restolen by the Titans. Now they'll take some time and set it up. As we're under 4.5 minutes in the second half. And McCallum will use one of the 3 remaining Detroit timeouts.
Timeout taken by Detroit.
Be interesting to see what he runs out of timeout here.
College basketball lives on the year. Update our one-on-one. I would call this a draw. How about you?
Absolutely. Both of these guys, Howard Jr., Travis Bader, they're playing great, making shots, doing what they do best. They score the ball. These 2 guys can score the ball, and they're doing it with high percentages tonight. Fun to watch.
Currently, we have 6 ties in our game and 11 lead changes. Those numbers are likely to change before we end. Approaching the 9 o'clock hour in the East, and still nothing settled here.
Howard got Petros on the switch. Tried to back away and shot it over. Probably should have tried to go by Petros and get to the rim.
Now they bring Petros out high. They know he won't try to pick and pop, try to shoot over there, but Bader will.
Now Petros, when he picks, he's going to roll. He's going in front of the ring.
So both Bader and Howard miss scoring opportunities. We stay tied at 70. Oakland has 3 timeouts remaining in the game. Detroit now down to 2. Shot clock has dropped to 10. Those were a little face-up action against Williams. Now 5. 3 ball on the way. Buried by Matthew Grant.
That's huge. Get Detroit the lead back.
Matthew Grant is into double figures. Dante Williams suspended up against the goal by Njoku. And now Detroit will settle in and set up an offense with a 3-point lead. Or maybe not. Quick shot taken. Shot missed.
Wrong rebound by Brunsman.
Well, the Titans is down on the other end. That's Juwan Howard, I believe. Dante Williams back out. Howard's going to try to get to the front court, but he is in lots of pain right now. So Juwan Howard Jr. stops the game with what could be a significant injury. With a 3-point lead after trailing by 9 in the second half, Juwan Howard has 28 for Detroit. Travis Bader with 27 for Oakland. Moments ago, Juwan Howard Jr. crumples to the floor. We're guessing it's cramps on both legs. At least the massaging that was done by the medical team seems to indicate that. And there's Mom, and Mom is as spirited and as involved in this game, particularly with son, as anybody, any parent you may ever see.
Yeah, it looked like he's both legs locked up there, and they were trying to massage the cramps out.
And the fluids will help, I'm sure.
The fluids will help.
Well, Howard has been splendid on offense, but he's also had to work pretty hard on defending Travis Bader on the defensive side.
And I think that's why those cramps showed up. You know, he's had to play on both ends tonight at high intensity, at a high level. And, you know, you're chasing Travis Bader around, then you got to go score for your team. It takes a lot out of you. But I tell you what, that kid's tough. If there's any way he can play through those cramps, he will.
Lively atmosphere tonight in a place called the Arena. And it is standing room only this evening. Right now, Juwan Howard Jr. will stand. And then he bends over on the side and try to keep himself in position to get back in. Oakland ball trailing by 3. Bader intended for Petros, turned it over. Points off turnovers.
Great shot fake by
22
Bader. Probably should have just dropped the bounce pass.
Points off turnovers tonight, 22-6 for Detroit. Without Howard, what type of offense can you run here?
Well, I think you got to try to get some penetration to the rim. You got to try to maybe get Broomsma involved. I mean, he's your second leading scorer. He's skilled enough where if he draws defense, he can find an open teammate. So I think you got to go through Broomsma if you can. And then I think everybody else got to try to attack the rim, make the defense collapse, and find the open man. Now the go-to guy's the open man when Howard's on the bench.
It's a good foul for Oakland because Njoku is just a 35% shooter. And you would think that maybe Ray McCallum will have a decision to make, although it might be easier once Howard's available, to replace NJ and keep his free throw shooting woes on the sidelines.
Yeah, you know, he's even shooting 27% in conference, so that's tough. Howard told Coach McCallum he's ready, and here he comes.
Didn't take him long, did it? Foul call on a drive by Duke Monday. It was a 65% free throw shooter.
Juwan Howard's a tough kid. He's going to go down swinging, dude. You know what I mean, Jim? He's going to fight as long as he can.
For a moment, I think he was still in some despair, but might have just got his mouthpiece and ready to go.
Yeah, he's still walking, you know, kind of gingerly. He's not, I think, fully out of pain yet.
Well, you've been through those things. How painful are they?
Oh, they hurt. Cramps hurt worse than breaks. Your muscles just lock up.
Well, you hope the booing is out of respect for Howard because he seemed legitimately hurt when he went down with both legs in severe pain.
Yeah, he's all they appreciate the show he's put on.
Oh, yes. As well as that from Travis Bader.
No question about it.
1-point game, under 140 left. Tonight live from the arena on ESPNU. Inside, Gerard Williams blocked. And saved. Good defensive play by Dante Williams. Oakland a chance to go ahead. Felder got it back somehow. 1:15 left. Inside, Petrums.
Good job by the big fella catching it. Drop, step, and finish. Big basket. I'll tell you what, it's worth staying up late.
It's a lively house, and as Oakland gets better, as you've noticed that we'll have Canisius and Niagara coming up on the U shortly. As Oakland gets better, this is going to be a real tough place to win for a visiting team.
Well, I just think it's a great addition to the Horizon League. You know, you got a great coach and a great basketball program that he's built for so long. And this is going to just really add to an already very good Horizon League.
Howard gets fouled by Duke Monday.
Howard sweeps, shows him the shot fake, puts it down, gets a little contact, then the reach in. Looked like he got a lot of basketball in there.
Tied at 74. Oakland has 3 remaining timeouts. This for the lead. What do you draw up here?
I think you got to get Bader off some screening action. Here it comes.
They'll drive the ball and shoot it. Tapped around a couple of times, and a rebound to Detroit, and Williams and a foul on the other Williams.
Got to make your free throws.
Titans are 11 for 16 in the game.
For the floater there. He comes off the screen. Didn't have anything. got the floater in the lane. Just was a tough shot. A lot of traffic, a lot of hands in there.
Williams is 75% from the line for the season.
And that was a big one.
Now Greg Campy will use a timeout, one of his 3 that are left.
One possession game. Yeah, I think it's just to kind of get organized. You know, these possessions are so precious. You want everybody on the same page.
2 free throws for the freshman Gerard Williams. 3-point lead, 35 seconds left, and a difference of about 3 seconds between shot clock and game clock.
Here comes Bader off the triple screen.
That's a tough 3. Got it!
Big time players make big time shots.
Back on Detroit soil for the first time is probably saying, man, what if I come back and watch here? This is amazing.
You know, he comes back and there sees his dad's team play in a rivalry game. It's a dog fight. Probably wish he's back out there again.
Sure. Are you looking for Howard here to win it?
Absolutely. There's no secret where it should go. We just got to see if he can stop it.
15 seconds left. A basket could win it. In the hands of Howard with 10. Down to 5.
Got space, Jim.
Missed it. Milano for the rebound. No, another foul. Overtime.
Wow. What a great game.
And Ray McCallum, the coach, thought there was a foul.
Kind of guys got to settle in now. Take their time. Figure out what to do next. Run good offense. You got to dig deep here. You got to dig deep here. And you got to gut it out in overtime. Overtime is a toughness. The toughness factor comes in, Jim, in overtime.
Speaking of toughness tonight, Travis Bader has played 37 to 40 minutes. So has Corey Petros. Khalil Felder has played all 40 for Oakland. For Detroit, Juwan Howard Jr. just went out for 2 minutes because of the spasms. He has played 38 of 40 minutes and 30 minutes for Evan Brunsma. So a lot of guys logging a lot of time. And let's see how the war of attrition goes.
Yeah. We'll see who can sustain here in overtime. And then those guys got to play a lot of minutes because of lack of depth on both teams.
Horizon League with another down to the end finish. The conference has been loaded with them this year. Petros against Njoku to start the overtime. And saved by Khalil Felder. By the way, Felder's numbers tonight: 11 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists, and 8 turnovers. He could get a quadruple double before this is over.
He's been in attack mode from the tip. From the opening tip, I should say. We just had another tip.
And his first year of college basketball, not bad.
No, he's a tough kid. You know, Coach Campy loves him, the way his ability to run the team, and he competes so hard.
Howard trying to back down Monday, missed everything, but it's off of Petros. Out of bounds to the Titans, and Howard gets the air ball call, and now the Titans entering another overtime game.
Yeah, since he's come back from the cramps, he's had a tough time trying to get his legs under him.
Right now they may be adjusting the shot clock, which for the moment is listed at 31. It's official Lamont Simpson.
Well, let's see what Detroit runs here on this out of bounds under. You know, you got your, looks like Howard's going to take it out. Unless they're huddling up now, so I don't know if that'll change. Yeah, you got Howard's going to pull the trigger on out of bounds play. They're in kind of a box set, kind of a wide box.
If you're wondering about individual foul difficulty tonight As we'll go to the monitor to settle an issue here. Anton Wilson has 4 for Detroit. Juwan Howard has 3 for Oakland, 4 for Duke Mundy, and 4 for Dante Williams, and 3 for Corey Petros, and 3 for Khalil Felder.
Yeah, Duke Mundy, you know, his ability to defend the ball. Here's the last play here. Ball's tipped out. Was saved. They want to. They're pushing it up the floor.
Well, at that point, the shot clock stops at 31.
Yeah, shot clock is locked right here, and you know they're running offense, so that's quite a bit of time.
So now they'll officially determine how much time is remaining on the possession. Ray Campy inside the Oakland Grizzly huddle, 30th year as head coach. He's won over 500 games, and this is the first year his team has made it into the Horizon League. First time a part of the conference, and it's going to provide, I think, for a terrific rivalry. We almost forget about the first time they met this season, in which there were over 7,000 at Callahan Hall in Detroit.
Yeah, great crowd. They're just a great addition to the Horizon League. I mean, you know, Butler left a few years back. You know, now you got Oakland. It's just a good fit. I think it's just a good fit for the league, Jim.
Well, it's a natural fit, and
Absolutely.
even if the Titans had anything to do with Oakland staying out of the league, as Campy maintains, the fact is they belong together, separated by just a half hour. We talked about the foul difficulty, and it really favors the Titans as 4 Oakland players have foul difficulty, with 2 on the verge of disqualification. Plenty at stake tonight as Detroit tries to make it 3 in a row in conference play and move into a 5th-place tie with Wright State, while Oakland can break the tie with Youngstown State with a win and then pull even with Detroit, and also have the tiebreaker for positioning, because an Oakland win tonight means a sweep.
And that was something that Coach Campy really would love to have in his hip pocket first year in the league.
After a delay, here we go.
Still same alignment for Detroit on the out-of-bounds play.
And the shot clock now drops to 23. Howard unguarded, and the Grizzlies have to be careful he doesn't bounce it off somebody's back and lay it in.
Absolutely.
He's done that before. Instead to Brunsman, the catch and shoot. Eighth rebound of the evening for Corey Petros.
Comes Bader off the screens.
Was open for the moment, now has it in the corner, nowhere to shoot. Back to Felder, on the drive to the goal. A rebound, Evan Brunsman. Brunsman's 8th rebound of the night.
Side ball screen, trying to free up Howard. Gets a good look at it on the floater.
And Joku scores. He started this game as a force inside, and he helps Detroit regain the lead now in overtime with 3.5 to go.
Joku's their best offensive rebounder. Comes through.
Rebounding's about even tonight, 34-33 in favor of the Grizzlies. Khalil Felder against Grant inside, and the ball out of bounds.
Hey, that's a tough pass for a big guy to handle. You know, you scoop one down to his knees, and he's 7 foot or 6'10", trying to bend down. That's a tough one to handle.
20 turnovers now for the Grizzlies, and that's a season high. But you're right. At that size, that is difficult to step down and make a catch.
Yeah, you got to hit him in the numbers where he can catch it and finish it.
Howard for 3. Bury the jumper from the outside.
I believe that's his first basket since the cramps. He may got a second win.
Juwan Howard with 33 tonight. Grizzlies could use a basket. Here's Felder, and he'll step to the free throw line.
I tell you, Driving kick to Howard, knocked down.
It's a nicely designed play considering the fact that you think he might be a little bit tentative after the muscle cramps, so therefore they just planted him in the corner for a step and shoot.
Well, his legs were cramped up. His arms were fine.
I would concur.
And as confident as he's playing right now, I'd rather have him shooting with cramps than some guys shooting without cramps. I tell you what, Khalil Felton has been in the lane all night long. You know, if I'm guarding him, I'm backing off. I'm going to make him shoot some jump shots. Contested.
He reduces the Detroit lead back to one possession. Good one tonight on rivalry week between Detroit and Oakland, separated by just 25 miles, roughly 30 minutes between the two Michigan campuses. Gerard Williams to Brunsma. Misses the three, and look at Felder's sky for the rebound.
Little guy's been all over the place, man.
Again, only a freshman.
He's a warrior.
Look at this, to the goal. Howard, a long three, a little too long. Felder wanted to attack the goal, but it kept him out of the lane, Reggie.
Yeah, he backed away a little bit that time. You gotta give him space. Keep him in front of you, because if you press up on him, bye-bye. He's going by you.
Headed for a triple-double tonight is number 20. 10 to shoot it. Mondy against Howard. Leaves it short. Long rebound, Detroit.
Run out.
And it's Howard to the basket. And Jawan Howard crashes into the floor.
You know, Jim, he just didn't have a lot of lift to finish that.
Think otherwise, if he hadn't had the cramps, he would have?
Absolutely. I mean, he just had no lift. You know, he's just playing on heart right now.
He'll get a chance to shoot for his career high, Reggie. He's got 33. And he's 7 for 7 for the free throw line.
Yeah, he's been terrific.
That is his first miss.
Hopefully he's not wearing down a little bit now. I mean, he's battled on both ends.
He has played all of 2 minutes, all but 2 minutes tonight.
Yeah. And probably Ray wouldn't have took him out for those 2 minutes if he didn't cramp up.
Missed them both.
Yeah. His legs are.
Here's Monday in the attack. Missed the goal, though. He had an open lane and a hoop. But Duke Monday on the attack missed it.
Duke Monday's had a tough night offensively.
He has. And now we're going to have. Let's see what we're going to have. Is Monday is down for the moment. Now he's back up. Not sure if we have an injured player or if a timeout's been called.
I got to get him hydrated.
Our conference at center stage continues between our three officials, Simpson, Mayberg, and Spadowski. And again, that's allowing both teams to get a break. As play resumes, Titan basketball. Well, this isn't for first place tonight in the Horizon League, but you almost get the feel it's just like it because of this great emotion. By the way, tomorrow is for first place, Green Bay and Cleveland State at 4 o'clock in Cleveland. Titan basketball, 1-point lead.
Huge possession, up one with the ball.
Let's see how much movement Howard has now.
Gonna run a little clock. Little dribble weave action here.
10 to shoot it, almost broken up by Williams. Now 7.
Helping.
To Brunsma with 5. Fires up and forces a shot and missed it.
Didn't get a lot out of that possession, Jim. The movement broke down.
With that now, the Grizzlies have a chance to take the
Vader
lead.
off the screen. Guy goes inside the screen.
missed it. Tapped out, though, to Monday. 10 seconds left. Fade away to the air. Good!
Here we go. Victor, the big shot maker.
So here's your scenario. 8.8 seconds left. Titans have a timeout remaining. Oakland has 2. Detroit's in a double bonus. Oakland in single bonus. On a tie-up, Detroit keeps the ball. And the Titans have got to go the length of the court. A basket could win it. And Evan Brunsmo will remain unguarded.
Got Howard up the floor. He's going to probably screen, flash back to the ball like he just did. And it's in his hands.
Got 5 seconds. Down to 3. Down to 2. He's going to have to force it at the buzzer. Game over.
Wow, what a tremendous game.